Yo, what up, what up? Welcome back. I'm your host, B. Riders, my co-host,
J Bell.
and this is Final Thoughts. Today's topic, toxic body positivity. Let's check it out.
This is gonna make some people mad. Let's talk about thinsplaining. Another creator made a video about thinsplaining, and I will tag her in the caption. She didn't have her stitches on, or else I would have stitched. But she essentially explains that thinsplaining is when a thin person, probably someone who's naturally thin, tries to explain fatness or how to become thin to a fat person as though we've never heard it before and we don't know our own bodies better than a stranger. In that video, she says that she's been hearing this since she was 7, and it just triggered so many memories. The first time thinsplaining happened to me, I was in the first grade. My first grade teacher kept me in the class during lunchtime and opened my lunchbox and took out my Lunchable and taught me how to read the nutritional value and count calories on my food in my lunchbox. I was 6 years old. Six years old.
Disappointing, but not all unexpected.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Did you know thinsplaining was a thing?
No, nigga. No. No. No.
No, I did not know that it was a thing until you told me about it.
Well,
Thank you.
that's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
Broaden everybody's horizons in the worst way possible.
He's a saint.
Here we go. And I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm really not trying to be that guy.
Stop the cap.
But liberals, what the fuck is going on?
What the hell is wrong with you people?
What is going on? Because this is a liberal thing. Think about it. Why are we doing this? We have to label every single thing and have to be triggered by every single thing.
So weird. It's so weird. Like I feel like this is like the problem with like we have this tendency of like making words just cause. Like thinsplaining,
Mansplaining.
Yeah, mansplaining. Like you're mansplaining me. It's like people on the left have this tendency of like trying to shut down conversations before they happen, and we do that by creating words like mansplaining, thinsplaining, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
to label somebody as something,
To shame them.
to shame them and then dismiss them.
Which is crazy because the liberal left isn't supposed to be about that. It's supposed to be about free speech.
Right.
You know, being able to say what you have to say and need to say. But now it's become, well, if you don't agree with what I agree with,
Yeah.
you have no place here.
Right.
And they're the biggest proponents of safe spaces,
Right.
but they don't give you actual safe spaces.
Right.
It's weird. It's truly weird.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell you, hey, you're mansplaining, you're this and you're that, and you're ableist, and you're this is and that is. It's just so many fucking things that they say. You can't say anything at this point.
Right. The words end up losing all of their meaning, right? Because it's like, I remember like the Liberal Party used to be the smart people. Like that's how I remember that distinctly growing up. Like the liberals were the smart people. We were the smart guys. Like we had the answers.
Yeah.
Right. And now we're like the crazy people who are
Insane.
identifying as unicorns.
Weird. Buddy, you're weird.
Or whatever. And it's just like, I know we want to be progressive and accepting, but we can't be accepting of everything.
Every single
because
thing.
then the things that matter end up losing their meaning, and then everything just ends up losing their meaning. What is thinsplaining? What even?
It unravels every thought and meaning that we have or associated
Right.
with an idea. Like the thinsplaining thing is just like, okay, what is, and people are gonna cancel me I always say this every time. People going to cancel me at some point.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
I'm cereal. I'm super cereal.
What is the issue with talking about weight, obesity? America is a very obese country. It just is. There's no way around it. It's a stat. There's statistics. There's percentages. There's math involved with this. And why are people so triggered about a conversation that could potentially save people's lives? It perplexes me.
It's like I think it's we've gotten to the point where you can pretty much, I guess, invoke anything as what you are. So we're to the point where we're taking whatever we feel like is important to us and making it the defining factor of us, right? And it's cool for some things, but it shouldn't be done for many things. And I think defining yourself, you need to have a soft hand with that, because this can promote toxic behavior, as you can see from the lady. Like defining yourself as a fat person, right? Or as I'm fat, this is who I am, this is what I'm gonna be, and promoting yourself as that, right? And I don't really have a problem with anybody doing whatever they want to do, right? Free country. If you're a big girl and you want to, shake your ass on YouTube and walk outside with your body in the bathing suits and all that and feel like a fabulous woman, do your thing. I ain't got no problem with that, right? Now, with that, you have to accept the consequences that come with that, right? Because everybody isn't going to be comfortable with that. And that isn't necessarily the healthy way to be. Now,
but I'm big bone, but I'm still healthy.
And that's the argument. Is always like, you don't know if they're not healthy just because they're big, just because they're overweight, or just because they're fat.
Dude.
And I'm like, but neither do you, right? Nobody knows. You can't look at that big person and then assume that they're healthy, because statistically speaking, as we talk about, stats are real things. Statistically speaking, they're probably not.
And what are they more susceptible to? Let's list a few things that obese people are more susceptible to. Right. That's what? COVID.
The big thing, right? The big C.
High blood pressure.
Another one.
Yeah. Hypertension.
Another one.
Of course. Heart attacks.
Another one.
Oh my God. Heart disease.
Stroke.
And another one.
I mean, it literally goes on and on and on. You are way more susceptible to succumbing to any disease or anything else because you are obese, because you're big, because you're fat, whatever the term is. You might hear fat and you get shaken up a little bit because you should. You need to. You're not supposed to be 350 and you are only 5 feet tall.
Hey, you got two struggles already. You can't be short and fat.
You know,
your body is gonna suffer.
It's not supposed to be like that. And we've gotten to this point of body positivity to where it's just like it knows no bounds, and it's just like we have to reel this in. This is not. You are not supposed to be this size. Your body isn't designed to be that big.
Right. Without shaming anybody behind it, because that's one of the main issues that overweight people deal with, is like shaming, right? So I can understand that you don't want to be shamed, right? There is a certain usefulness to a little bit of shame.
Absolutely.
That is what motivates some people into getting into shape.
Because because of this body positivity thing, you might not even encounter someone saying anything contrary to what you're already thinking. Sometimes you need to hear, hey,
Yeah, you're getting a little,
yeah,
you know, not. It doesn't have to be thrown in your face. It doesn't have to be and said in a disparaging way.
whatever.
But sometimes
I think you just need to like be
hear it.
direct.
That's a huge bitch.
Yeah.
You just need to be
Yeah.
direct.
Sometimes that's what you need to hear.
Yes.
You know, and that's just how it is. Like my mother dealt with that, with being obese, and she died from heart disease. She had a heart failure, and she passed away. And the reason was because she was overweight. So I'm not saying this to attack anybody. I'm saying it because I've seen and dealt with this in my life, and I know the consequences of it, of not taking care of your body. So you could say all day, well, you don't know if that person is unhealthy because they're big. Chances are they are, though. Like the numbers are on our side to say that if you are of a certain weight, at a certain height, right? Chances are you're unhealthy, and you should probably do something about it.
And I don't think that is wrong to tell somebody that you care about that, hey, you probably need to, like, you know,
Yeah.
eat differently.
Yes.
Because like weight for whatever reason is like the golden child of bad things, right? You can't say anything about weight, but you can say, all right, man, you smoking cigarettes, you shouldn't do that because you could get lung cancer.
Yeah.
And people just like, all right, yeah, you'd be right, I can get lung cancer. Oh, you shouldn't drink because you could destroy your liver and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the moment you mention weight,
Well, then everyone loses their minds.
people lose their fucking minds. You know, they just can't handle the fact that, like, oh, I need to lose weight. Are you fat phobic? And it's just like we start doing that stuff. We start labeling people and calling them this and that and all that. And it's like, and us, we're making this video, right? People, because you're saying something about overweightness, they'll attack us.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you bald, you losing your hair, and you this and you, and like, what does that do? You attack the person that's saying, you attack us that's saying this. What does that do for you while you're still overweight? What does that do for you? I always wanted to figure that shit out because I see it on social media. Oh, well, he trying to talk about my weight and he losing all his hair. Okay, losing his hair isn't detrimental to his health. You gaining weight and sustaining that weight is detrimental to your health.
Yeah, that's the main point. The biggest thing that kind of irks me is like when people get mad at celebrities who were like overweight and then they lose the weight. And then
Adele?
they get mad. It was Adele. It was what is it? Rebel Wilson who lost some weight, and then they got mad at her too. And it's like
they're fat phobic because they wanted to lose weight. Y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
Fuck no!
'Cause I'm just like, wow. Like you can't even have a say in the appearance of your own body at this point in time. You know,
It's getting out of control. I've been saying that. It's
yeah. If I feel like I'm a little chunky, maybe I'll. Or if I feel like I would just be healthy.
Ice Chunky, Bird, Red
Real
Monkey.
monkey.
That's Ray. Shout out to Ray.
If I feel a little ice chunky, you know, I can't lose a little weight.
A little red monkey. Yeah, he can't lose
And that's so irritating to me. But that's part of the stupidness of it. Is you can't even make a decision on your own body, and without being labeled something.
That is the craziest thing. Like, this woman was, like, you know, obese. Like, Adele was definitely obese.
Yeah.
I don't think we could debate it because it's a fact. And then she decided to do something about it, right? And lost weight, however way she lost it, naturally or other.
Yeah.
Either way, she's a smaller person. And people literally were being assholes about this, calling her fat phobic, and I'm just like, are y'all serious? Y'all are being so judgmental, and it's crazy coming from y'all because y'all don't like people judging y'all for being obese.
Yeah.
But yet you're taking the time to judge this woman for doing something she felt benefited her life span. Because that's what it all boils down to. You want to live longer. You want to live longer. You can't, if you suffer, if you having heart disease and all these kind of issues, how are you gonna live long? It boils down to that. You want to live longer.
Well, my final thoughts on this subject is a lot of stupidness going around. But one of the dumbest things I saw was a Twitter thread where somebody was saying that being overweight doesn't cause these diseases. It doesn't cause heart disease. It doesn't cause hypertension. It doesn't cause stress, right? And it really upset me because they were clearly manipulating language, right, to drive a point, to push their narrative. And it's like, no doctor would ever say that, would ever call someone into their office and say, being overweight causes this heart condition, right? What they would tell you is that you are at a higher risk.
There you go.
For A, B, C,
You're
and D.
susceptible, more susceptible.
That's what that means,
Yes.
right? And that just irked me because I'm like, now you're being dishonest. You're lying about this. You're lying about the risks, the health risks that people can possibly be in, right? In order to make yourself or other people feel better about this. And that's basically my biggest issue with this, is that I feel like we're taking some of the wrong things and using them to define ourselves. And I've said, this is one of the messages that I try to preach to men, is define what a man means to you. Don't let other people tell you what a man is. You have to figure that out for yourself, because you can get into some murky water trying to define yourself by what someone else tells you. Same thing for this situation, right? I don't think that you should, I don't think that it's healthy to define yourself as a fat person, because this is something that you don't have as much control over as you think you do. What if you're a big girl, wonderful fat girl who defines herself as a fat girl on TikTok, promoting all these videos, and then you get sick and you become emaciated and you're no longer this big fat beautiful girl anymore? What is that gonna do to you, right? Are you gonna feel like less than a person? Or do you expect all of your followers to leave at this point because you're damn sure not the big beautiful fat girl anymore? You're not. Objectively, you're not.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of a weird thing to define yourself as, I think. But, you know, people can do what they want to do. I just think that it's probably not the safest thing to do. That's me. What you got? What's your final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thoughts is pretty much everything he said. And it's just I get aggravated with the whole labeling everything. We have to say, we're always triggered. We have to call somebody something. We have to say they're thisest, they're thatest. You know, they're fat phobic, they're homophobic, and like, you can disagree with something and they'll automatically brand you as something phobic, and it's just like, oh my God, because I want people to not be obese, I'm fat phobic. Like, we literally have the science to prove that being obese is not a good thing in any shape, way, form, fashion, whatever. It's never a good thing. And I'm not entirely sure why we've developed this wall when it comes to big people, because if a person who was thin was just like thin pride or something like that, they would call them fat phobic because they're scared to gain weight and not be fat or something like that. And like I said, it was crazy that a person who was big lost weight and called them fat phobic too. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. Try to be healthy. Try to be the size you're supposed to be. It's not supposed to, you're not supposed to be a sack of bones, but you damn sure not supposed to be 600 pounds. They have shows about people who are extremely obese.
You know the ones.
They can't even walk anymore. Why is that okay? Like when do we draw the line? All right, this is way too much. Because we're trying to be so progressive, we're trying to be so liberal and left-leaning that we just forget the science behind why we are who we are as liberals. But I'll leave it to y'all. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm gonna try to stay within the parameters of what I'm trying to be. You know, I like being able to run at full speed, getting in a car and being able to drive it, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Okay with that.
you can look at me as fat phobic. I think after this, I'm going to be branded as it for some reason. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it's a weird topic. The end of it, of the thinsplaining video, was like she told a story about a teacher who
The calories.
taught her at 6 how to read the calories on the back of, I guess, a juice box or milk carton or something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess that was triggering.
That was so terrible for some reason.
And I'm like, this is one of the best things that somebody could do, because childhood obesity is just bad. There's no
I don't even understand.
like,
how does this happen?
yeah, if you are obese as a child, there's like a 12% chance you will ever not be obese as an adult.
Right.
This is like, and then there's like the issue with poverty around it and food deserts. Like, this is a complex issue, but children who are obese is almost never a good thing. So
almost, to me, it's just never.
I really can't think of any situations where it's just
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But anyway, this is a long-winded topic. We could just go on and on about this, but
Yeah.
let's wrap this up. Thank y'all for listening to our ramblings once again. Your host, B. Ryder, co-host,
J. Bell.
and this has been
Final
Thoughts.